Yeah, so the lake's just a little bit low. I've only been out to this lake one time, and when I did, it was in the winter time, and I got my butt kicked. So I'm gonna have a little bit of redemption, or I hope so. So the plan today is to get out there, get on the trolling motor and take it to them, cover some water, and hopefully put some fish in the boat. Nothing crazy. Let's do it. He's itty bitty, but still something. I had one on my crankbait earlier. My drag wasn't set and I lost pressure. He got away and he did not feel small, but I did snag a limb right after that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and hope that it was a limb and not a fish. But we're on the board with a dink, with the smallest Divine 6-cent swim bait they make. I think it's smaller, 2.7 Kitech, so it might be just be like 2.5, somewhere around there. Number one. There's a good one. There's a good one. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Please, please, please stay on. Come on over. Come on over. No. Got him. Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yes. I knew this lake had bigs in it. Yes. That's like a solid 4. That's a solid 4. I might put him on the scale just for giggles, just because. Right there. Right there. On the BFS. God, I barely had him on the... Look how I had him hooked. Skin hooked right there on the edge of the mouth there. .5. 4 pounds, 5 ounces. That's a good BFS fish right there, guys. That tiny tackle. That was an awesome fight too. So there's the little bait that did the damage. I mean, that is tiny. Even smaller than a Kitech, than a 2.7 Kitech. There she is. There's a ton of little bait swimming around these points. Every dock here is on there. Everyone's dry docked here. Like, nobody can get their boat in the water. That's how low this lake is. Everything is dry docked, and I'm fishing all of this rock that's normally submerged, but you can fish right on the edges of that rock, and that's where all these little bait are. Got me a good one. I hope there's a few more out there for me this evening. Go get bigger. Go get bigger. This dock right here with that ski boat is in a foot of water. 1 foot of water right in the shade. What are you? Oh, no, 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 no. I just lost like a 6 or 7 pounder. All I saw was the meat of his back and his tail, but I didn't get the drag turned down quick enough. Just didn't have my drag set well. I just retied too. That was a big bass, man. I guess there's still some learning curve to this. God dang it, that was a big one. Oh man. Ah. That still hasn't healed the wound of that last one. I'm so bummed on that last big fish, guys. I'm so bummed. God. Take this one literally times like 7 or 8. That was a good trip, but it would have been a perfect trip if I would not have gotten broke off by that giant. That was so disappointing. I was so bummed. But I mean, overall, that's the second time I've ever been to that lake, and I didn't really know much about how to fish it, but I mean, it kind of was presenting the same way as a lot of the other lakes that I've been fishing. Just very, very low, a lot of little bitty bait fish, shallow, and that's how I fished. Fished the little bitty swim bait, and that's what I did most of my damage on. I caught a couple other small ones on a crankbait, but I caught one big one, and that giant broke me off. And it's one of the few times where I always say, it's always tempting to say, oh, I wish I would have just been able to see it. Well, I did get a chance to see that one, and I wish I wouldn't have, because honestly, when I hooked it and it started digging down, I thought it was a drum or a catfish, but he came up a little bit. I saw his tail the first time. He went to the back of the boat, and then I saw his shoulders and his backside, and it was a really big bass. It was probably the second biggest bass I would have caught this year. It wasn't as big as that 8.5 that I caught out of Eagle, but it was very big. And I had him on the really, really light BFS setup I have, and I just didn't have my drag set. I mean, it's my own fault. And I'm pretty sure that line was getting pretty brittle. It's not the best line. I need to put some really high quality like Sunline on there if I'm going to be throwing that light of line. I mean, lesson learned, right? Use really good quality line, change it frequently, that big fish, always have your drag set. And I mean, I don't know if I could have done a lot of things different if I had my drag set, and if I really tried to lift him because I thought he was done, and I thought he was getting ready to just like, you know, float with his head out of the water, and he was not done. I tried to lift at the same time that he dug down right behind the boat, and it popped. As soon as he turned his head and dug, it popped, and my heart just sank. But like I said, all those lessons learned, I'll be better for it next time, and hopefully I'll land him. And this bite hopefully will continue to last, because it's a really fun bite, catching those big fish on those little bitty setups. So we'll catch y'all on the next one.